His New Year's resolution was to stack on 40 kilos and maintain the weight for 3 months. Tomorrow, Paul PJ James will begin to shed those 40 kilos in an attempt to reduce his weight by a third.
Some health experts, including his own doctor, have criticised the personal trainer, labelling his effort a dangerous stunt. Paul joins us now at the start of his weight loss program. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, King. David.
Thank you for coming in.
My goodness, we saw you at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And
Bit of a difference.
bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Remind us again, I mean, people have labelled this a stunt. Remind us again why you wanted to do it in the first place.
Yeah, basically it's a journey to better understand my clients. Being a personal trainer, I found that it was quite difficult to understand where clients were coming from, especially the overweight clients. And, you know, for the first time for them walking into a gym, it's quite daunting. And my journey is to go walk a mile in their shoes and better understand where they're coming from.
Do you, or did you underestimate the emotional effect on you of gaining all of this weight?
Absolutely. From the outset, I thought that the physical symptoms would be the main ones.
That was you?
That was me, and not too long ago. That's me now.
Yeah, so you were talking about the emotional.
Yeah, the emotional side is something that I totally overlooked. So
Why? What did you feel?
I'm still feeling it. Just the lack of motivation, lack of self-esteem. It's come on really steadily, and it's making it very difficult to make the transition back into training.
So have you felt depressed along the way?
Yeah, definitely. The doctor had told me that if I continued down this path, I definitely would, you know, suffer from depression. But there's already some symptoms of it, so not a moment too soon to get back into the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you tackling it?
Basically, I am making it as hard as possible. So I've continued, haven't done any training right up until today. Plan to start tomorrow, and that includes changing my eating schedule as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to...
How difficult has it been to put on 40 kilos? How did you do it? Just through being eating a lot and not exercising?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The lack of exercise. I was very fit beforehand and did a lot of physical activity and ate really well. The first few months, definitely, it was just a bit of a novelty, eating whatever I could. But following that, the weight just crept on, and I actually have been eating less over the last couple of months, but still putting on the kilos.
Well, that tells you something rather sinister, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So there are now real physical changes, as well as the obvious putting on weight. Your body is reacting differently. Your metabolism's changed.
Yeah, absolutely. No metabolism whatsoever, I don't think.
Are you frightened that you won't be able to get all that weight off again?
It's crossed my mind. It's going to be difficult, not only just the length of time that it's going to take. I imagine it will take about 6 months. But it's going to be a difficult journey, so I'm not underestimating how difficult it will be, but it's a challenge that I set out to do, and I'm going to see it through to the end.
How dangerous has it been? You've stayed in touch with your doctor throughout the whole process here. What's happened to your body in terms of danger and medical issues? Yeah,
the physical aspect of it, all the blood pressure, things like that, cholesterol, blood sugar, all of those have crept up slowly over the months. I was lucky that I started at a really fit level, so...
Have they crept into dangerous levels?
They're on the borderline at the moment, so they're just... A few of them have creeped over. Blood pressure has been not too bad, but definitely blood sugar and cholesterol have crept up, yeah.
I'm going to ask an intimate question here, but, you know, in terms of your body, I mean... I've watched some of those international shows where they look at, you know, at people's, you know, the rate of sweat and, you know, and the regularity of their bowel movements. Have you noticed that all of that is messed up? You know, do you have bad breath and more body odour and all of those sorts of things because you're eating badly and unhealthy?
Yeah, that's really important to address that as well. There's been a lot of got chafing and also the toxins, the build-up of toxins in the body as well. So on my body and on my arms and stuff, I've got a lot of sores that the toxins have been coming out, and yeah, it's nothing good about it, is there?
How do you start to lose it? Because obviously you can't just go straight back to your kind of training regime that you were in prior. How do you start to lose it?
The first thing is deciding to get into the gym. That's the main thing. And start doing some regular exercise and activity. Slowly moving into the weights and building up to hopefully where I was before, but it's going to take a couple of months to see any real progress.
But what do you do tomorrow when you go into the gym? You know, half an hour on the bike and a slow walk, or to the car, or, you know, how do you...
Initially, I'm going to do a little bit of cardiovascular work just to get the blood pumping and see how unfit I am.
A walk?
Yeah, I'll use the gym equipment, so I'll be walking on the treadmill, just a slow walk, maybe move it into a brisk walk and see how unfit I am. And there's no point just jumping into it because you can cause yourself injury as well. The road back is going to be difficult as well because I'm used to training at a high rate where I get really good results, or I build on what I've already got. So this is a whole new process for me.
It'll be important for you to actually hold yourself back. You'll want to go like a bull at a gate, won't you? Yeah. What will be the problem with doing that?
Definitely, you can get a lot of injuries, you know, tearing muscles, pulling ligaments, that kind of stuff. So you definitely want to ease into it. Otherwise, I don't want to spend the next 2 months recovering from an injury.
Reasonably, though, you've got that muscle memory. You've already had, you know, that sort of a body as we saw in the pictures. So it's going to be easier, I imagine, for you to get back to that point than it is for someone who's never had that body. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the main thing that is...
I mean, I don't mean easy, sorry, not to take away from you.
No, the main thing in my favour is that I've been there before and I do know what is attainable. So that's really important. It's a whole mindset, and I think the mind's really powerful. If you know where you've been and where you can get to, and you know the right steps to take, then you do believe that you're going to get there.
What do you think this is going to do for you as a personal trainer, given now that, you know, I remember when we first spoke with you, you said just even getting down and doing some sit-ups is difficult for people who are overweight.
Yeah.
Have you had a go at a sit-up?
I've had a few goes at some sit-ups. I've got no more than 5. And assisted with my hands as well, yeah. So,
wow. Whereas how many would you used to do?
I could comfortably do 50 sit-ups with no effort at all.
What sort of sit-ups? Do you want to give us an example?
I can give you an example if you want.
Will you button pop or...?
Just here?
Yeah.
All right. So, just a simple one to start with.
Yep.
Like, normally I'd be getting right up to my knees.
Yeah. So there's just...
But it's just pretty much to that point, but I just can't even hold my body weight up at all.
There's just too much tummy in the way. And look, you're
and puffing.
Puffed.
It's going to be a lot more difficult than I expected.
Do you think that...
Clearly.
I mean, that's one, and
that's pretty scary.
You're out of breath,
Yeah.
You've got to start this tomorrow. Do you think that there might be any long-lasting damage or injury, like back problems or anything like that?
There's a glass of water from me.
Thanks. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. A day too soon.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Any lasting injuries, do you think? Back problems or the like?
I've been seeing a chiropractor as well and getting my body into shape that way. So definitely I've got to ease into it. There's no point lifting heavy weights, otherwise I will have some injuries.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear. Well, good luck. Stay safe. Don't get too crazy on the walking machine tomorrow.
Yep. Okay.
Thanks for your time this morning.
Or the sit-ups.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you. Good luck with it. Well, next, Bruno, the gay Austrian fashion reporter, taking the red carpet by storm.